In what some are calling a desperate attempt to revive his faltering leadership, Sir Keir Starmer has hailed the arrest of a suspected small boat smuggler as a major breakthrough in Labour's fight against illegal migration. Flanked by Union Jacks and delivering a speech meant to project strength, Starmer presented this moment as evidence that his government's approach is working. But is it really? Behind the scenes, cracks are already forming in this polished political spectacle. With 20,000 small boat crossings recorded since Labour took office, frustration is boiling over, not just among voters, but within Starmer's own party. Tonight, we delve into the scandal behind the announcement, Labour's crumbling popularity, and whether this so-called win is merely a distraction from a much deeper problem.
It is good news that today a man suspected of being a significant supplier of small boat equipment has been arrested. Criminal gangs have been getting away with this for far too long. I want to thank the UK National Crime Agency, along with their Dutch and Belgian counterparts, for all their hard work and their crucial role in this investigation. It's exactly what we want to see. And it shows that our approach of working with international partners to smash the people smuggling gangs is bearing fruit. In just over 4 months since the election, we've rapidly set up a new border security command, bringing together key agencies to disrupt people smuggling gangs. And last week, I announced new funding, which will mean up to £150 million over the next 2 years to support the important work that has led to the arrest today. That includes recruiting 100 more specialist investigators and intelligence officers for the UK National Crime Agency and advanced data exploitation improvements for the NCA to boost our collaboration with European partners. We've also doubled the number of UK officers in Europol and signed new agreements with Slovenia, Serbia and Slovakia. I'll continue to work closely with my European counterparts, particularly in Italy, Germany, France, to enhance that collaboration, because clearly it is already having an impact.
Good news, Starmer declares as he delivers his address not from Parliament, but from the Home Office, a calculated choice designed to emphasise Labour's focus on immigration. But for many, this announcement feels more like political theatre than meaningful progress. The arrest, carried out in Amsterdam, involved a suspected smuggler linked to the ongoing Channel crisis. While any disruption to these criminal networks is welcome, experts warn it's far from the decisive victory Starmer is presenting it as. Smash one gang and another pops up, a former Border Force official told us. These networks are incredibly resilient, and they adapt to every new policy or enforcement effort. In fact, sources within the Home Office confirm that smugglers are now launching boats from broader and more dangerous stretches of the Channel, making the crossings even riskier. And while Starmer's government has celebrated this arrest as evidence of progress, the stark reality remains. More than 20,000 migrants have crossed the Channel since Labour took office in July. For voters, this statistic looms much larger than a single arrest. Perhaps the most telling aspect of this announcement wasn't the arrest itself, but the fact that Starmer, rather than his Home Secretary, delivered the news. Insiders suggest this was no accident. Labour's strategy, they say, is to frame Starmer as a hands-on leader, directly tackling the issues voters care about most. But some Labour MPs are quietly questioning this approach. It's risky, one backbencher admitted. If you take personal credit for small victories, you also take the blame when things don't improve. And right now, things aren't improving. This decision to step into the spotlight comes as Starmer faces mounting criticism from within his party. Immigration, once relegated to the background of Labour's policy priorities, has now been thrust front and centre. Labour's rhetoric on immigration has shifted noticeably in recent weeks. Starmer's government is now emphasising two core priorities: boosting the economy and protecting borders. This marks a stark departure from the 5 missions Labour championed before the election, which notably didn't include a specific pledge on immigration. Why the shift? Analysts point to a warning from across the Atlantic, where the Democrats suffered a stinging defeat, largely due to poor messaging on immigration and the economy. Starmer's team appears to have taken that lesson to heart, recalibrating their focus to appeal to disillusioned voters. But will it work? Early signs suggest otherwise. Channel crossings continue to surge, and critics argue Labour's long-term strategy has yet to yield tangible results. This latest announcement also comes at a time of unprecedented political volatility for Starmer's government. Since the general election, Labour has lost 20 council seats, a shocking reversal for a party that recently secured one of the largest majorities in UK history. Polling paints an equally grim picture. Labour's national support has plummeted to 27%, trailing the Conservatives by 2 points. The Reform Party, Green Party, and Liberal Democrats are all gaining ground, eating into Labour's voter base. Commentators are now questioning whether Labour's stunning general election victory was a mirage. Despite winning a historic majority, the party's support in key areas appears dangerously shallow. "This isn't normal," said political analyst David Cowling. "You expect some decline after an election, but this is extraordinary. Labour should be consolidating its position, not bleeding support at this rate." For Starmer, the backlash has already started. Critics have pointed to a series of unpopular decisions, from cutting winter fuel payments to implementing the largest tax hikes in history. Even within Labour's own ranks, frustration is mounting over the party's inability to deliver on key promises. The immigration announcement, while packaged as a win, risks becoming another example of style over substance. As one political commentator put it, "This is a band-aid on a bullet wound. Voters want real progress, not press conferences." With net migration statistics set to be released in the coming weeks, Labour is bracing for another round of scrutiny. Starmer's ability to maintain control of the narrative will be put to the test, especially as Reform UK and other opposition parties ramp up their attacks. Labour insiders say the government is now doubling down on efforts to secure more wins on immigration, but the clock is ticking. For many voters, patience is wearing thin, and one arrest won't be enough to turn the tide. Keir Starmer's gamble on immigration may have bought him some time, but the underlying issues remain unresolved. As channel crossings rise and public confidence wanes, the question isn't whether Labour can secure more arrests, but whether they can deliver meaningful change before it's too late. For Starmer, the stakes couldn't be higher. Want to stay updated on this unfolding drama? Hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and join the conversation. We'll keep bringing you the latest scandals, controversies, and political battles, because this story is far from over.